Yo, what's up everybody? This is Damron with Trash Ass Gamers bringing you another veteran Elder Scrolls Online dungeon guide. This is for Banished Cells 2. This dungeon's not too bad. Part of the base game dungeons. Not really going to give you too much difficulty. I will keep these dungeon playthroughs complete as always to show you exactly how I got where I am and no one's confused. So I will fast forward through the ads to make it a little bit quicker as a video and mainly focus on the bosses within the dungeon, and I'll point out anything else within the dungeon that I think is important. But for the most part, this dungeon's relatively easy, shouldn't give you too much problems, so let's get right into it. Alright, so we're coming up on our first boss here, which is relatively a mini boss. Gonna have two Flame Atronachs in here with her, but this boss is not gonna cause you too much trouble, really. Basically, you're just gonna want to kind of take out the Atros so they don't really give you any problems, and then you can focus on keeping Areldur. Now, she will spawn these flame attacks that kind of burst out in any given direction, so be aware of that. That's really the only attack you really need to worry about. She'll drop these tiny flame AoEs generally at who's being targeted, which is the tank, so you really shouldn't have to worry about that either, especially if you have a healer. You can probably just stand in it. They don't really cause that much damage. But other than those two attacks, she doesn't really do much other than a light attack on the tank. So just maintain your DPS and you'll burn her down pretty quick. And then right up from there is going to be our second boss. This guy is chained up, Maw of the Infernal. Now a little tip here. Take him back over to those flame traps that you're going to see that you cross to go into this area, and he'll actually take damage from those flames. So you can actually kill him faster by having him stand on that trap throughout the fight. Now, he will do a conical flame attack that can certainly cause a lot of damage if you just stand in there and take it as a DPS character. And then he'll also put some flame AoEs just on the ground as well that will tend to stay there for quite a bit of time. So just be aware of the flame, stay out of that, and then you keep him on that flame trap and you'll actually burn him extremely fast, even faster on that flame trap. So let's take him down, and I'll meet you guys at the next boss. And definitely keep in mind that you're going to have to hit those switches to advance through that gate there. So if you're getting stuck wondering why you can't get past that gate, look out for those butts. Alright, so our next boss coming up, Keeper Voranil. Keeper Voranil will have two ads with him as well, two Dramoras. Just stack them up. They're not going to give you too much problem. He's a mini boss skin, doesn't really have too much defense. He'll light and heavy attack the tank, which will be able to sustain that easily just with your blocks, and everybody else just kind of stay behind. See, there's his heavy attack. You can see him winding up, which he winds that up for a long time. Just bash him and you won't even have to worry about the attack. And he'll do a small AoE where he swings his weapon around in a circle, which you saw there. But it's not going to cause you too much damage. You'll wipe him up before you even know it. He's a very, very easy boss, as is the majority of the bosses in this dungeon. So let's get cracking. Alright, so moving on to our next boss, Keeper Imiril. She's actually a pretty cool little boss here. You're going to see what she does, but she spawns these little balls in that you're seeing there. Don't really want to stand within that, but it doesn't really cause damage, but when she disappears, you'll see she spawns some ads in. On the first part is the Scamp. Now those little balls, you don't want to stand them. They like I said, they don't cause too much damage, but they do cause damage, so just stay out of that. And then she'll obviously drop a larger AoE, which will cause a large AoE that explodes and explodes into these smaller balls that kind of sit around the map. So just kind of be aware of the smaller AoEs. And again, she'll disappear again and spawn some Dark Twilights in, so burn them down. It's not too bad of a fight. That's really the gist of it. You want to stay out of her AoE and then stay out of the smaller ball AoEs that spawn from that. Now she will also do a quick kind of attack when she comes right back out of the phase. She'll do a dual blade attack on somebody, so be aware of that. When she comes back, you can dodge it. And the third set of ads she'll spawn in is the Dark Clannfear, and that's all the type of ads that will spawn in. If you somehow go further, it'll reset, as in the next set of ads will be the Scamps again. But she's not too bad. Um, Even if you have a healer, you're going to be able to just stand in those AoEs and not even worry about it at all. But do everybody a favor and avoid them and just burn her down. So as you can see, this is a very easy dungeon. We're almost done. We're rolling up on our second to last boss here, which are two sisters, basically harvester-like enemies. Now, when you do a lot of damage to one and not the other, one will kind of become protected for a while. So try to keep your damage between the both of the sisters. So you've got Sister Vera here, who just runs away, and Sister Sihna. So you can see that Sihna here now has a shield because we put too much damage on her without putting enough damage on Vera. So we'll focus our attention on Vera now. Ideally, if you can get them in this corner like the tank is trying to do and you have larger AoEs, you could actually damage both of them with your AoEs. But the main thing is to just kind of keep your damage between the two, keep their health relatively similar levels, and take them out. Now they will do some light attacks on the tank, obviously, but they don't really cause that much damage, and their heavy attacks are different. So Sihna will charge up and fire a single lightning attack that travels on the floor, a triple, sorry, and so will Vera. She'll also do the same charged attack with 3 lightnings that kind of go on the floor. So you want to stay out of that, but even if you do get hit by it, it's not going to cause you too much damage. So just maintain focus, bring them down, and we're going to move on to the last boss. Alright, so as you can see, there's no scroll for the last boss of the Banished Cells 2, High Kinlord Rilis the 12th. Basically, hard mode is by having 3 Daedra alive at the time of his death, which you'll see us do, and I'll explain a very easy way to do that. Now, there's a couple things you need to know about this fight. One is that he will spawn Daedra throughout the fight, and those Daedra certainly can cause damage to you, so you're going to want the tank to kind of hold on to the Daedra while everybody else focuses on the main boss later in the fight, so that you keep 3 alive, because one, you burn them pretty quickly. So you're going to see that here, we're actually going to kill this Daedra. Now, another thing that the boss will do is raise his staff in the air, and he will create several burning AoEs on the ground. You're definitely going to want to stay out of those. Those do a lot of damage. So whenever he raises his staff in the ground, be on the move and get ready to get out of those AoEs. Another thing that'll happen during this fight is you'll see these small orb-like balls spawn where he started on that stage in the back of the room. Now those balls will float to him, and if they actually get to him, they will give him some of his health back. So when those balls do come up, which they don't have much health, be sure someone's going over there to take them out, which I'm going to show you right here. So these little things, they don't have much health, so you can burn them down really quickly, and that's that. But if they make it to him, he will heal a little bit. So as we progress through the fight, the tank will kind of keep his aggro for the light attacks, which, you know, if you're a DPS, they can certainly hurt you, but they won't kill you in one shot. But he's going to be mainly holding the Daedra, and he's going to hold them away from the boss so that we're not damaging the Daedra. And we're actually going to have to slow down our DPS a little bit to wait until there's a total of 3 Daedra still alive. And then once 3 are on the board, then we can kill him, and that is considered hard mode. It's actually not that hard if you have a good tank holding those Daedra away, which you see he's doing, making this extremely easy. So we're going to kill the balls, control our DPS, kind of slow it down, and then as soon as that third Daedra spawns, we're just going to rip him up. And another thing he can do, which you're seeing here, is he'll put you into a ball, which will take you up into the air and release you. Now that's a random target, so that can happen to any player. And if you're close to death when you're going up into that ball, then you can die from hitting the ground. It will take a decent amount of your health away. So now you're seeing two AoEs of flames because the Daedra shoot the orange AoE flames, so that's the difficult part of having a lot of them alive because they're all shooting now flame AoEs as well as his blue flame AoEs. So we got 3 on the board now. We're going to clean him up. I think I get a little aggressive here and go down so I can keep it trashy for you guys. But we take him out, and that's the fight, and we'll talk about the monster set at the end. So like I said, not a hard dungeon at all. Very easy. The boss mechanics are very simple, mainly a burn, burn, burn. And what you're gonna get is this Maw of the Infernal set, which is pretty cool. Basically, it's gonna allow you to spawn a Maw in that every time you do a light and heavy attack, you have a 10% chance to spawn it, and it does fire damage, and it can occur every 15 seconds. So in reality, you can have a Daedra up with you almost at all times. And then of course the first part's gonna give you health. So I hope this video helped you guys out, and if it did, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.